Santa Snail, written by Jade Madra. Santa was so tired. He wasn't as young as he used to be. And every December, there were billions of presents he had to deliver. All in one night, he flopped out in the garden on a sunbed, in the hot sunshine, looking at the blue sky. It was still summer, and he was so busy worrying about how he was going to deliver all those presents that he wasn't enjoying himself at all. At that moment, a little snail happened to be gliding along the footpath near his toe. The little snail seemed to be fairly racing along. He was actually rushing quite a bit because it was such a lovely afternoon that his dad had proposed they get ice creams. Little Snail didn't want his brothers and sisters to choose the chocolate and leave him with none. But he was so busy thinking about the ice cream that, oops, he slid right into Santa Claus's hairy toe. "Oh, terribly sorry," said the little snail. "No trouble at all," said Santa Claus, looking sad. "It's just a little slime. It will come right off." Little Snail tried to wipe the slime away. But as he was wiping the toe with his slimy self, he only got more slime on Santa. "I'm terribly sorry," stammered the little snail. "I can see by the look on your face that you are very unhappy that I slimed you." Santa Claus was shocked by this. "Oh no, little snail," he said. "I am not sad about you bumping into me. Your slime is quite refreshing, now that I can feel the breeze on my toe." "Oh, thank goodness," said little snail, very much relieved. "I am just sad because I have so much work to do on Christmas Eve," said Santa. "And I'm so tired, and I can't help worrying. What if I don't deliver the presents in time? What if I get to Christmas Eve, and it's just all too much for me? I just don't know how I can do it all." Little Snail did not quite know what to say about this. "But don't you always deliver the presents on Christmas Eve? And don't you always manage?" "Yes, moped Santa, but I start to worry in bigger about March, August, January, I until and feel I June. Feel that I can keep by worry I hardly the just worrying gets time bear don't I bigger get all no thinking to and through how to do anything at all." "That sounds very unhappy," said little snail. And because Santa said he didn't mind his slime, and snails are quite cuddly, he gave poor sad Santa a little snail hug. "Why don't I do it for you this year?" he suggested. Santa looked surprised. "You?" "Yes, me. Why not?" Now Santa did not want to say this because it was not exactly polite, but he did not see any other way around it. "Aren't you a little slow to deliver millions of presents in one night?" "Don't you worry yourself about that," said little snail, who was a kind-hearted little gastropod. "You just take good care of yourself for the next few months, and have this year off. Let me take care of the presents, and just concentrate on getting your confidence back." So that's what Santa did. He did yoga and crossword puzzles, and read all the books he'd been meaning to read for years, but had never gotten around to. And how do you think little snail planned to deliver all those millions of presents in one single night? He went home, and he ate his ice cream so he would feel calm and ready for the big task ahead. Then he started reading the naughty and nice lists, and the lists of who was getting what. That took him about a week. Because it's a little known fact that although snails are quite slow movers, they are super fast readers. That meant it was still only September. He looked at his calendar. He filled in each day with an equal number of children and toys spread out over the next 3.5 months. And then, he just started delivering the presents then and there. He mightn't have been the fastest creature in the animal kingdom, but he was patient and organized. He tucked the presents into the cupboards and wardrobes of parents everywhere. He disguised the gifts in shopping bags. He attached a little note to each, asking the parents to wrap them the day before Christmas, and pop them under the tree on Christmas Eve, after the children had all gone to sleep. Starting in September like this, by Christmas Eve, the only thing to do was fly around the evening skies, eating cookies and milk. This, he thought, Santa could do with him very well. So, on Christmas Eve, little Snail visited the North Pole. He pulled on the doorbell, and Santa answered the door. "All the presents are delivered," said Little Snail proudly. "But how?" said Santa. He was quite astounded. "It's only 4 p.m. And Little Snail explained how he had done it. Santa marveled. "Organization," he said. "You were quite the impressive little terrestrial mollusk. I was so busy worrying that I got myself into a dither." And Little Snail showed Santa about calendars, and using lists and pens and stickers, and Santa got quite excited about it all. So excited that, instead of thinking about next year with dread, he was already excited for it all to start. "But first," said Little Snail, "we need to go around and drink all that milk and eat all those cookies. They won't eat and drink themselves." Little Snail and Santa did laugh, and they spent a wonderful Christmas Eve, sampling all the world's milk and cookies. Speculoos, Tim Tams, gingerbread, shortbread, chocolate chip, Anzac biscuits, all the most delicious treats the world's children had to offer. Little Snail liked it all so much, he thought it might even be better than ice cream. And that is how Santa learned how to stop worrying and get organized. It gave him so much extra energy that he even had time to take tap dancing classes, and his whole year was so much happier. And if you ever see some early Christmas presents in your parents' cupboard well before Christmas Eve, well, now you know why. The end.